All right, good morning, everyone. It's another week, which means it's time to check on my rock tumbler. So, right now I have some leftover chert still, and there's still some quartz from Bethesda in here, but there's also a bunch of new rocks that we added last week that I got in kind of the Charlottesville area. So I'm excited to see those and see how they turn out. So let's see, let's get this open and we'll get started. All right, I'm gonna clean that off real quick. So it's exciting when you've got new rocks in here. Totally new, so we'll see how it goes. All right. Hi, King Donta. Good morning. I'm just cleaning these off. And if I were not live streaming, I would do this outside with a hose. It's a lot faster. But then I'd have to be outside and figure out how to set everything up out there. It's a lot of work. So I just use my little spray bottle. Gets the job done. All right, that should be good. Now let's get that over. We're gonna put the rocks. See if we can turn the camera. Let's see that. Oops. All right, there we go. Now I'll get started going through them. Let's see, we got some good light. All right. I'll start off with some of the bigger pieces, just so we can get through those. So this is a nice quartzite that I got somewhere in, now I can't remember if it was Nelson County or Madison County. But this side still is not quite smooth, so it's going to go back in for another week. Where'd I put my barrel? The one's going back in, go in the barrel. Everything else goes in this bin. Let's see, here's the other half of that piece we just looked at. And it's also still got some areas that, let's see. So this here will probably chip off at some point, so I'm going to continue tumbling it. What is my opinion on the current socioeconomic climate? I have no opinion. So here's another. This one's got more of a sandy color to it. But same kind of general type of rock. See, there's still this little spot there. I think it's going to need another week. Then this big black one. It's hanging in there, looking good, but obviously still this interior portion is not getting smoothed out. Ugh. There we go. That should be better light. So now, let's see, here's one of our big pieces of chert that we've been looking at for a couple weeks now. Oop, skip to live. Trying to make sure I can see the chat. One of our bigger pieces of chert. There's little bits of quartz in there. This one's actually doing way better than I thought it would. I figured it would fracture into like a million pieces, but kind of hope. I do kind of wish it would just go ahead and break along this line, because it probably will eventually, but it's all right. So this is one that it's pretty interesting, and it's not the most exciting rock, but I used it to make. So I cut some little slabs out of it and made these necklaces. You can find them in my Etsy shop if you're interested. I have a few from this rock, and this was just kind of the leftover that I didn't think would make good necklace size pieces. You can see there's still some staining on this side. But maybe one more week we'll get rid of that. All right, so let's do our large quartzite pieces first. So we've got this one here. It's not too different from the others, but it does have some neat little lines on it. Here, though, needs more time. And a big piece of chert. I really love these colors. I really, really hope this area smooths out quickly. Side smoothing out well. So this was much more jagged last week, if you recall. So another week or two, and this one may be good to go. So did everyone have a good week? Because it's been a full week since I chatted with all of you. Here's another. This came from that really large piece of chert. Did I cut it off? Over here you can see. So these colors, especially when there's like lines through them, always remind me of old mints. So I always like that. This one should, darn. Thought it was ready, but you can see there's some little fractured areas here. The little chips that need to smooth out. That'll get another week. Then this pink one, it's coming along really, really well. But you can see right there, that's a spot, and right here is a spot. That goes back in. The last chunk from that big piece of chert that we've looked at a couple times. This little hole's holding on to a broken piece of ceramic. Let's see. I'm trying to get through all the quartzite before I move on to the other stuff. Yeah, it's brief. So this one is coming along really, really well. This spot right here is not yet smooth. Yeah, there we go. You can see it in the light. So this one has been interesting. It's been in for a while now. I have no idea why, but along all these little fracture lines, it turned green. There's more white now than there was last week, which is also kind of interesting. This is one, I don't know what will happen with it. It's been in here a while, and it's not really, and all the fractures have kind of gritty rocks, or gritty pieces around them, so it's not smoothing out. So how many barrels do I run at once? So I have this one that I'm working on right now. It's a big barrel, holds about 12 pounds worth of material. And then I also have two small 3-pound barrels that I run. Right now I'm doing some just like really generic milky quartz in one of the barrels because I was able to consolidate. They're still in the first stage. And I'm making a video about them. chert, by the way. Um, and then the other one I'm using to do stage 2 on some rocks, including a really big piece of chert. And then I also have a 4-pound mini sonic vibratory tumbler, and that one I use for stage 2, 3, and 4, assuming the rocks can fit in it. So this piece of quartzite is not quite done, but it's getting really close. Ooh, this piece of chert is really nice. So it does still, sorry. It does still have this area that hasn't really smoothed out as well as I would normally like. But I love this side of the rock and this side, so I'm going to go ahead and move it on. So what's the difference between quartz and quartzite? So with quartz, so quartzite is, oh gosh, could have told you I could have given you an exact answer pretty recently. Quartzite is made up of a bunch of basically grains of quartz. Quartzite is made up of grains of quartz. Quartz tends to be more of a like solid single whole piece. But sometimes quartzite, well, oftentimes quartzite is still solid enough that you can tumble it. I don't know why I cleaned that piece off. It's not where I'm meant to be looking. Uh, okay. Well, maybe I am ready for that. So I've got a bunch of these quartz, milky quartz pieces with red iron staining in here a few weeks ago, and we're finally getting some good results. This one is really nice right there. There's still a bunch of areas that have not smoothed out quite yet. So we'll go back in. This is probably quartz. So you can never quite tell. This may be quartz or quartzite. It's doing pretty well. This side probably is a little bit more work. That might be a maybe. Maybe I'll move it along depending on whether anything else moves along this week. Alrighty, so this, I don't know what it is. It's kind of clear though. I feel like it's been in there so long, I want to hurry up and move it. I'll put it in my stash to move along, but I may take it back out and put it in another week. Here's some quartzite that's definitely ready. It's got that very sandy color. Let's see. And as always, for any of you who are new, I have a bunch of videos where I have a bunch of shorts where I've recorded, what the rock looks like when it starts, after a week or two, and then in the end when it's fully polished. They're kind of satisfying to watch, I think. You may want to check those out. Right now we're just kind of in the process. This is a really neat milky quartz piece that has, let's see if I can get it to, there we go. There's some lines in the milky quartz like running this way, and then this way it's like stained fracture lines. This is going to be a really good one when it's done. Here's one. I must have cut this piece because it's perfectly flat along those sides. It still needs a little more time. This big chunk of milky quartz, I'm going to give it another week at least. I don't mind that there are little holes, but I want to get rid of that yellow staining if I can. Oh, here's another big chunk of quartzite. Missed from earlier. Let's see, feeling it all around. This one's definitely ready to move on, which is perfect. Frees up some space for new rocks later. There's another one. So these are darker gray. and have the red spots in them are from Rockingham County, usually. Oh, thank you. Yeah, those are kind of fun to make and easy, obviously. It take time. Let's see. So this is a new one that I put in. I got it in Charlottesville about a week and a half ago. Looking pretty good. I wasn't sure if it would be too soft, but so far, and it didn't break into a million pieces, so I guess it wasn't too soft. This one from Charlottesville is really nice. It's another one I wasn't sure how soft it would be. I wish I could just go ahead and move it on, but I really want this area smooth. Let's see. This one feels like maybe it's not going to be solid, or well, so the rock feels very porous right now, which doesn't bode well for tumbling it. I'll give it one more week. Sometimes the porous exterior is just covering up an inside that's much nicer and is, in fact, smooth. I'm really pleased with how these kind of greenstone, whatever they are, from Charlottesville are turning out. Let's see. Oop, wrong way. See if I can get it to focus in on some of the patterns. I think it's not. Oop. Okay. So this one's going well. Put it back in. This one is from Elkton, I think. It may have been from Charlottesville. It's got kind of some blues and these little like, holes within it. Must be some sort of metabasalt. And there's holes filled in with some sort of quartz. I really like this one. I hope it stays very nice like it is right now. So this one I made a few cabochons out of. I wonder if I have one sitting right here. I don't. So I made some cabochons. There's a video of it if you want to watch later, out of the rock that this came from. It's got a crack that seems to run pretty deep, so I'm going to go ahead and say this is as smooth all around as I'm going to get it. Move it along. This is a newer one from Charlottesville, so it's got this cool yellow quartz on the side. And then we've got these red kind of jasper lines or whatever with some little bits in here of more of the quartz. And that the quartz isn't kind of bumped out along here makes me think that this is a metabasalt that's taken, it's about the same hardness. Sometimes it's not the same hardness and it will wear faster. But it should be good and eventually take a polish. So I'll keep that one going. There's another one, just kind of a generic creek rock that I found in Charlottesville. It's got some greens, some yellows. There's really two different types of green in there. This one's really fun. So on one side, it's got all this like green and there's some red stains. I guess the red stains are probably from this, the iron stained milky quartz on the other side. I'm going to do one more week and then do it by hand if you need to finish that one up because it's really nice. I don't want to lose it. This one is just a piece of quartz. It's got some clarity to it, and it's got this green stuff all around it. I'm hoping there's some green in the quartz because otherwise it's all going to be gone. Here's another one of the iron stained milky quartz. This one may never be perfect. because it's got so many deep holes and pockets and stuff. But if it is able to kind of smooth out without opening up new pockets and holes, it'll be a really pretty kind of cool shape. So I'll move that one along. This is one, I really wish this material were like mixed into the quartz instead of being rubbed away on the exterior. No, on this side, some of it does look like it's on the exterior, or on the interior. I'll let it keep going. Another milky quartz with iron staining. There's a lot of this around here. It's got that classic, I think they're called bugs, the deep holes. Some quartzite, not quite ready on this side. Let's see right there. Let's see. Where to next? Let's do some more of our stained quartz. Milky quartz with staining. This one, I love the dark red line here. Otherwise, I wouldn't particularly like this rock. I don't really like this yellowy color from other types of staining. This one's pretty cool. So the rocks like this one and this one, sometimes they take a really good polish, sometimes they don't take the best polish. I'm going to try really hard to get a set of just these rocks and do the next stages of them together. Hopefully give them the best chance in case they probably are a little bit less hard than some of the quartz pieces in here. So this one's really, really good. This side needs a little bit more, as does this spot here. Yeah. I haven't had pink quartzite like that in a while, so that's fun. Then we've got all sorts of quartz varying clarity. It's one of the nice things over in Charlottesville, they have a lot more clear or smoky type quartz than we do here on this side of the mountain. Let's see. This is one, it feels like it might be a little bit porous, but I'll keep giving it a chance. Also from Charlottesville. These cool little striations in the quartz here that are stained green. Haven't found any in a while that I thought were ready to move on. Let's see if we can find one of those. Well, I'm sure we'll find some along the way. So this one feels a little bit porous. Feels like maybe it's some sort of granite. Because it is smooth, but it's not smooth. It's like there's a variety of materials in it basically that have relatively close but not exactly the same hardness, which gives it a weird feel when you tumble it. So I'll move that one along. Looks like it's doing quite well. Ooh, purple quartzite. That does sound nice. There's another one. It's got some blue. I'm also going to move it along. I don't think it's been in there very long. I have to look back at my videos. So this is one. I think it's kind of cool just because this spot here is obviously a much different hardness than the area down here. So this little like lump. So I'm going to move that along. Ooh, so here's one. So it does have this hole here, but everything else is very soft and flat and feels great. So I think this one's ready to move. That's a cute little piece of chert here, but lots of holes, so not moving. Okay, this one's almost like a smoky quartz, in this spot. Again, this is from Charlottesville. So all along the Rivanna River, you can find rocks like these if you're ever in the area and looking for them. Here's another one like that. It's just more clear. Let's see, I wonder if I think I have one that I got in the same place. Yeah. Here is one. This has been fully tumbled. So these rocks from Charlottesville, this is what they'll end up looking like in the end. Hopefully, the ones that are quartz, at least. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited to see how they all turn out. Another one. This side is still not quite smooth, but this side is. And I always like when it has these little like striations of something running through it. So I'm hoping those won't all go away in the next week or two while it finishes up. Let's see. It's like looks like an angry little monster. Back in the barrel. Ooh, this one's almost done. Let's see. What do you think about that crevice? It's never going to smooth out all the way, but there's a few other spots that could use a little smoothing, so I'll give it a little more time before I give up on it and move it along. Here's one that I was worried was too porous, but it's seeming less porous this week to me. So I will continue to tumble it. So this, I know not everyone likes these yellow ones. Some people think the yellow is kind of it does look a little bit like bile, the color. Um, there's a small little crevice in there that should smooth out in a week or two, so it'll get another week. This one's coming close, but I want it smoother. And that was quartzite, the last one I threw in. So this is, so when I usually around here will find milky quartz that's very white that has the red lines, like this piece. In Charlottesville, sometimes it's a little bit clear, like this one. Really was in Fairfax where I found, kind of near Lake Fairfax, where I found the most like fairly clear pieces of quartz that still have that red staining along little fracture lines. I love those pieces. Those are some of my favorites that I've tumbled. Yeah, so this little spot here looks like it'll fracture off next week. Ooh, a big one. So here we go. You can see, yeah, there's more clarity here than what I normally find in Rockingham, especially up here along this portion. You can use some more time. Yeah. This will be a really neat one when it's done. Nice and shiny and flat. This one's doing pretty well, coming along, at least. Let's see. That'll be kind of cool. It looks kind of like tiger stripes. Are tigers the ones that have stripes? Yeah, because cheetahs have spots. Or no, is it leopards that have spots? What do tigers have? Which of the big cats has? Which of the big cats has stripes? Someone let me know in the chat. This is kind of cool, but I don't know how well it will turn out. You can see there's a lot of holes. Ooh, this is nice and soft. It's a neat quartzite. It's pretty small. That's okay. It goes in our ready for stage 2 pile. This one has a lot of little inclusions all over it and stained fracture lines and everything, but it's not quite smooth. So back in the barrel. I almost gave up on this rock a while ago, but I am glad I did not. Still not done, but I think it'll be cool when it's done. Tigers have stripes. Thank you, Sherry. I don't know why I would blanking on that. Ooh. Sorry. Looking at this myself and forgot to show it to the camera. This will be really pretty. Wish it were bigger, but that's all right. It's ready for stage 2, so at least it won't get much smaller. Aw, this one's got some holes. Hmm. I don't quite know. I think this is quartz. Well, certainly it's quartz on the inside, sandwiched between something that seems not to be. Well, maybe it is hard enough to tumble. I'll give it another week. Let's see, this one would probably just be kind of a clearish quartz by the time it's smooth. Ooh, this little pistachio quartz piece here is unexpected. This one, I'm just going to flatten this side out by hand so that I keep as much of that pistachio area and polish it as I can. It's a little bit more quartzite. This one you can see more of the like grainy sandiness in it, which is kind of the classic telltale sign of quartzite. So I added so many of these are new from last week that really that is a pretty decent amount to be ready to move on. But a lot of these that are left are probably not going to be ready. I don't know what I'm doing with this chert. You can see all these fractures all over it. But I'll let it keep rolling around. Maybe it'll surprise me. Ooh, you can see definitely some inclusions on this quartz that should still be there by the time it's smooth. And another yellowy one. More yellow. This one, I was hoping it would be a blue, but I think this is just smoky quartz. The area I was in Charlottesville supposedly has all sorts of blue quartz. I was having trouble finding any. I don't have much blue quartz, even though it's supposed to be everywhere here, so I need to take a day and just focus on trying to find some of that. This is really cool. It does have this spot here that's not smooth, but I don't want it to get smaller, so I'll move it up. This is just like a chip. So I'll go ahead and move it. So you can see this area is very porous still, but some of it is not porous. So there's hope yet for it. I think this is chert. I'm going to move it on since it's so small and mostly ready. This one's got some rough edges still. The hole means it needs more time. May never be good. We'll see. Oh, here's more of that pink and green stuff. I think I'll go ahead and move this one along, just so I can get to see what happens with it, while the bigger one continues to go through the rough grit. So this side is all sorts of holes. So I think I'm going to give it another week. No, and this hole will just carry so much grit from stage to stage. I don't want to spend too much time fussing over cleaning the rocks unless it's a set that's filled with holes. So let's see. Yeah, another little crevice there. And again, I have lots of shorts where you get to see how it started, how it ended. They take like 6 or 7 seconds a piece to watch, so you get to see beginning, middle, end of the rock tumbling journey. This is a neat little piece of chert. It's got, there we go. So over here, I think given its size, I'll move it along. This one has holes that are just too deep though. Some of these tiny ones wind up, I mean, they're never going to be polished. There'll be little itty bitty bits that just go in the barrel to help fill it up, take up space in between the big rocks that I'm more interested in. This one, that's probably the best it'll get. You can see those holes look like they're not surface level. So that'll probably sit around in my bucket of ready for stage 2 stuff until I have an opportunity to tumble a bunch that are not perfectly smooth. I'll probably move that one. This one's so close, but it's still... I think I'm going to move this one along as like an experiment to see, because it feels a little bit rough, which makes me think it's porous and won't take a great shine, but maybe I will be proven wrong. And just some more quartz. More of our iron stained quartz. Oh, some blue star quartz. Alabama State Rock. Okay, yeah, if you've got some and you want to mail it, that'd be awesome. I'll have to look up what that is. The Alabama State Rock. Yeah, some bowls. Let's see, we're finishing up for the day, running out of rocks to look at. This one, I don't know. I'll move that. I'll move that one just because it's tiny. Ooh, this one's really cool. I'll move it, and I'll have to make sure that I have a lot of teeny tiny pieces of ceramic in there to really get in those holes and smooth out that rock as best as it can be. There's another one with holes. Moving on. See, this will be cool when it's done. You can see all the red lines and the purple. I think all these are just tiny. Don't think anything's too interesting left, so I'll go ahead. Well, I'll keep looking. Let's see. Is this one? It's a nice one. I think, given its size, I will move it. Yeah, let's move that. Yeah, this one I'll keep spinning. All right, well, I'll pick through these as the day goes on. Let's see, but I think that's about it for today. Let me see if I've got any fun new polished rocks to show off. Yeah, I don't think I have anything new to show off really this week, so I will let you all go. Thank you so much for sticking around, and do be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this, like this video, like any of my videos, watch my shorts. I've got videos making cute little cabochons like this, cutting rocks open like this. This one was very sad. I haven't posted the video of this yet, actually. I really, really like the color on this rock. Let's see, I think that would have made a really cool necklace, but the rock keeps shattering when I try to cut it. And I don't want to make necklaces and sell them to people that then they break. That would be not ideal. So, and then hopefully today we'll finally get to see the tumbled Petersburg granite. So keep an eye out for that. Um, Otherwise, I'll see hopefully some of you here next week because I do this every week. It'll be a little bit later in the day next week because I'm on a trip for part of the day in the morning. I should be back in the afternoon. So I'll see you next week.